We're back, joined now by Bill Sawyer. He's the CEO of Sawyer Group, LLC. Bill, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Don. I'm happy to be back.
Well, you're a go-to guy for the oil business, and I was kind of wondering what crude production is looking like worldwide.
Well, worldwide, we're about 81 million barrels, and it's kind of up from a couple of years ago, but it's down from about 3 years ago a little bit. But 81 million barrels of oil a day is quite a bit.
Well, who's the largest crude producer in the world these days?
Well, the U.S. is the largest producer as of 2021. We don't have the 2022 figures out, but 2021, it's the U.S. followed by Saudi Arabia and Russia. And then surprisingly enough, China's in there too, and Canada. But the U.S. leads us the production now, and looks like even though we're only about 12 million barrels a day, that's still a lot of production.
Now, the U.S. Consumes about 20 million barrels a day, so we're getting everything else imported, right?
That's correct. Everything else is being imported, especially in California. That's one of the big places where oil is being imported. But yes, we fall about 6 to 8 million barrels a day short.
I know that you're very active in California. What's the story with California oil production these days?
Well, right now, California only produces about 330,000 barrels a day. They import about 56% of their oil. In the past, about 46% of their oil came from Alaska, but now it's down to about 14%. California only produces about 29% of the oil that's used in its refineries. And one of the problems is the connection across the Rocky Mountains. There's not really any good connections across the Rocky Mountains to bring oil in from the east at this time.
Can California increase oil production?
Oh yes, quite a bit, and in fact, there's quite a bit that could be done in the Kern County area and in other areas. There's a lot of undeveloped oil, totally undeveloped oil out here that are not getting permits to develop it. There's a lot of oil out here that are not getting permits to rework the wells. So at present, with 300,000 barrels a day is nothing compared. We could be producing about 3 or 4 million barrels a day.
Wow. What are crude prices going for these days?
Well, right now in West Texas Intermediate's about 81 barrels a day. Brent's about 86 barrels a day. In California, the light crude is going for about 82 barrels a day right now. And the heavy crude about 78 barrels a day. The price varies according to where you are in the United States. Like if you're closer to Houston, the price is a little bit higher than West Texas. Problem with West Texas is it has a lot of refineries, and but it also has a great deal of production. And some of that production has to be transported out of West Texas now because the refineries there have their own ability to just set the price, and so that's why the price is lower.
What are investors doing? Are investors looking at oil and gas financing?
Well, surprisingly enough, that is happening. There are investors coming in starting to look at oil and gas. They haven't done much yet, and most investors are looking for the larger deals, the $100 million, $200 million deals that are there and higher. Right now, there's some interest being shown, not deals closing, but interest being shown in the mid-range deals, which are 5 to 25 and $50 million. The smaller deals, which mostly funding came from individuals and from the small family offices. There's not much happening there. They have looked at deals, but really haven't shown an interest right now.
Is the current administration doing anything at all to help oil and gas?
Well, that's kind of funny. On the one hand, no, they're doing everything they can to discourage oil and gas and discourage production. On the other hand, their discouragement of production and development and drilling has caused the price to go up. So what they are doing is raising the price. The price should not be where it is now. The United States should have probably $10 a barrel less if we could produce more. And I feel that we're probably at 12 million barrels a day. I feel we could produce probably 16 or 18 million easily.
Switching to natural gas, how's that coming along?
Natural gas is a point of sale commodity. The report is it's about $3.60 at MCF over the United States. But being a point of sale, in other words, when the gas arrives at where it's being sold, then the people who have contracts take that, but the others bid on it. Recently, I spoke with some operators in California who had received $50 in the MCF. I mean, that's unheard of. I remember when gas in Louisiana point of sale went for about $26, but $50 in MCF is just unheard of. And it's a localized area, but that's a lot of money to be paying for 1,000 cubic feet of gas.
Are there any other forms of energy that are helping to ease the prices of oil and gas, perhaps?
No, they're not. If you look at what's happening in the United States, there's not much going ahead. For instance, if you look at the electricity comes from burning natural gas and burning coal and burning oil, crude oil sometimes, and from the nuclear plants. But really, if you look at the wind's not taking a really big advantage right now, and solar isn't making a headway into anything. I mean, localized, yeah, it is, but not overall in the United States.
Well, Bill, a lot of people are concerned about the economy. Inflation has made a lot of headlines. How's the economy affecting the oil and gas business?
Well, pretty bad. Right now, oil prices is really affecting the economy more than anything. And that's sad because oil prices ought to be down about $10 a barrel if we produce more. But the economy is very worrisome right now. Inflation is worrisome. We just can't seem to move it ahead. The other thing that's wrong with the economy is here in California, there's a problem with trucking. The governor has stopped all independent trucking going into the ocean ports, and because of that, stuff isn't getting taken out. There's a lot at the ports that still need to be taken out, and there's a lot of boat ships that need to be unloaded, and there's a lot of ships going to other ports now. I saw that the other day that Savannah has increased its port capacity by quite a bit.
Well, Bill, if you were president, what would be the first thing you do to help the oil and gas business?
Well, I'd take off all the restrictions on investing in oil and gas. In fact, I'd take off most restrictions that are being applied in the markets today. I think that's wrong. I don't think we need restrictions. The other thing is I would get a hold of the debt in the United States. I think that's a big problem. On the one hand, I agree with the Republican Party that we need to cut what's being spent. At the beginning of the Reagan administration, the debt was about $1 trillion. At the end, it was about 2 or 3 trillion. And it went up from there. Each president added about $5 trillion. And we're at the point right now that the debt is paying for the debt is taking up all of the money from the federal banks, and it's hurting us very bad.
Well, Bill, speaking with you is always an education. Bill Sawyer, the Sawyer Group, LLC. Thanks so much for joining us once again. Sage advice.
Thank you, Don, and it's always a pleasure to be on Money TV, which is probably one of the greatest shows that there is about money on TV now.
Thank you so much.